and welcome to another coaching video, and in this one we have Talon versus Fiddlesticks of the Platinum Elo, which means things are going to happen, weird things. This player is a not such a good win rate Platinum Talon main, does play a few other things as well. He had an amazing game after this one, but I thought, hey, let's look at one where he didn't do so amazing, because as always, consistency is the issue. And usually that's a byproduct of making bad decisions that sometimes coin flip in your favor and sometimes coin flip not in your favor. Now the Fiddlesticks is going to start on his Raptors and obviously do this stuff. And this Talon, these kinds of cheese invades, I get it. You know, we get kills, we have flash for some particular reason, we should just go ignite. We're level 1, he's level 1, he can just flash out. And you know, the Fiddlesticks out here to suck it up, suck. Oh, he's out of suck now. So he's going to suck back. I mean, what do we really accomplish when we do this kind of stuff? Now, obviously, if he just had ignite, he probably kills him sooner. And to go along with this video, I will be updating my jungle improvement PDF to give you all of the jungle tips and drills you need to improve regardless of what champion you play. That is free for you, available on my website, along with jungle video courses for your MMR, jungle coaching, and a coaching VOD library. Basically everything a jungler needs to reach their peak goal faster than ever. All available on Virkayu.gg. And is this really worth it? Because now the Fiddlesticks knows, okay, look, I better go down to the bottom side here. I have this pressure here. The Talon is now going to sit. If the Fiddlesticks is a good player, and if this happens to you, please, really, just focus on this so much. If you know that someone's going to be on your red buff here, don't go back in. Go to the bottom side, okay? The thing is, Renekton now, in theory, could rotate over. We also have the ability for the Victor to rotate over. So in theory, the Fiddle could straight up come on down and force a 3v1, but most likely in this case, if you're the Fiddle, don't let your laners compromise themselves too much. This guy's actually in a little bit of a, you know, what's going to happen next moment, so you can just go ahead and take this, and if he doesn't cross the mid lane, you can vertical jungle, but most likely he would do this, gank this, and then he could run across gank mid lane and then defend this, in theory. So the invade does give the Talon those options, but a Platinum Talon is not really going to be using those strategies at the maximum. So hopefully the Talon here is fake basing, because obviously Renekton can move a little bit, but he's just wanting to protect his flank, and Fiddlesticks should go down to the Wolves if he wants to control that side. Maybe he can go to the bottom lane afterwards, or because we have a ward here, he can go and steal that red totally. The Talon though will do this, and what he should do is cross mid lane to try and gank the Victor. But you have to understand that if the Fiddlesticks knows you're there doing that, and he goes for vertical, he's potentially here as well. So while I'm a fan of these late invades and things like this, if you know the correct pathing, it's just better to do the Talon stuff, right? Go Raptors, Red Krugs, gank your bottom lane early, Fiddlesticks is sequencing down, go ahead and kill him over here with your ignite, nice and easy peasy. Worst case scenario, you go to mid lane, you control this, you can dive top lane, you can fall back to this, you can go back to base, just stand at aggressive ganking pathing. Delay the invade from level 1 to level 3, giving yourself the map mobility, right? That's the classic way to kind of do it. But also, if Fiddlesticks decides, hey, you showed the bottom lane, haha, I'm going to vertical jungle you. All it takes is a little bit of either crossing and killing, or saying, fine, vertical jungle, because that really isn't great for you as Fiddlesticks. I get this, and I get to repeat gank your Jinx and your Lux over and over again and snowball myself. Talon really holds all the cards when he does that. Now, he's going to do that, of course. The Fiddlesticks is snacking this baby away. We're going to leave an effigy over here just to, you know, ensure that we can keep control of those things. Also, the question mark for what's in Fog of War and what isn't will be coming back in 13.10, so hooray, huzzah for that. Now, basically, they're ganking the Victor here. The Gravity Well, Gravity Field, goodness gracious, always Gravity Well in my brain. That's going to get a double stun. The Fiddlesticks shows. The Lux rotates because they had a bit of prior, and Talon dies. You see what I'm saying? The amount of variance in his play is so much. I mean, the Fiddlesticks only has one buff and now has to start a slow clear at, you know, 327. Vex is running around here. They get another kill. I mean, it's just, you caused this as Talon. You straight up caused this. Now, both of you are as useless as each other, except the Fiddlesticks has 2 assists and you have 1 kill. You both have 6 CS. The Fiddlesticks is already on the map. It's just so compromised, right? Whereas if we just had a standard start, not standard, but like a nice aggressive start, delayed our invade, we're able to get the same thing while sequencing better, while not compromising our lanes, and while not dying, most likely. So he did affect himself quite negatively, though. The Fiddlesticks is just going to do this. But these games, for me, tell a lot more, because if the Talon is able to get a huge advantage from this and the snowball and get 19 kills, like maybe the game after this that he had, you don't really learn much because the cheese just snowballed him and it's great. But if you have a 50% win rate and you're stuck in Platinum, the cheese isn't working for you as a whole thing, right? You just You're literally coin flipping. So why not adhere to better fundamentals, better strategies, think more dynamically about your pathing and tracking, and you can win maybe 60% plus of your games instead of 50%. And that way you can climb. Sounds pretty good. That's what we cover in the courses. The fundamental courses for Platinum are absolutely insane. Basically, I took it from the approach of, hey, how does this make you a diamond jungler? You can also use it to climb through diamond, basically. Just absolute advanced fundamentals on how to handle these scenarios, because I always believe that good fundamentals will put you in the right position to make the right play, always, and it prevents cheese from really thriving. Sure, you might lose a game or two, but not overall. So the Talon now decides, okay, look, let me do a full clear here, up minus my Krugs, because I know the Fiddlesticks will take this full back to this and come up. So this is a good move by the Talon, not to get his hands dirty with an invade that might be compromised because of the Victor's Prio, but at least deep vision, steal this away. The Fiddlesticks might look for this and then go up. I love it when things work out. This is just understanding what junglers want to do. The jungle intuition, that extrapolation, understanding what each MMR kind of has as a tendency, right? So that's why I like to break this kind of stuff down, because this would be a different play for Challenger jungler. It would be a different play for Silver jungler. But for Platinum, you kind of get that mix of yes and no in terms of, hey, that's a good thing you're doing. That's not such a good thing you're doing. And just to go back a few seconds, because they were trading, remember the 530 wave is typically when we'll have our level 6-ish spikes. And you can see here, because this guy's got a kill, he's going to be right on the money for that level 6. And the Renekton, because he died, won't be. So you got to pay attention to which lanes are winning, which lanes are not. The level 6 Mordekaiser is just going to yeet the Fiddlesticks into another dimension. Should be able to easily bonk and kill. So it's a terrible, terrible, heinous, violently stupid gang by the Fiddlesticks. And all that tells me is, hey, this guy don't think about level spikes and wave spikes. The Talon, you know, while he was, again, if he had Ignite, like, the Flash has been useless. But the Ignite, you know, whether you use it here, whether you use it here, oh my goodness, the lazy base, always the lazy base. I mean, Platinum players, you have the laziest bases of all. You think you're out, and then they pull you back in. Well, in this case, he goes to you, but the Mordekaiser would pull him back in. I don't know, like you see 530, you know this guy's got the kill, you know he's going to be hitting level 6. Why are you ganking at level 4? You don't know where the Talon is, right? Talon, did he go down, top down or bottom up? Now he's going to leave the base after respawning, run back to the top lane. And all of this because he delayed his full sequencing. This is what I mean. He went for this red buff, got some kills and assists, don't result spaced it, but now because this was so delayed, he died on this gank, super gank, but he's in this position because he has nothing else to do. He doesn't know what else to do. There's no camps on the map. He can't go in vertical jungle. This Talon's going to go back, well, he died, so he's going to be going to the bottom side as well. This isn't diveable level 4, they've got Prior. What do you do if you're Fiddle? You can coin flip a dragon because you got 2 lane Priors. You can maybe flash E over the wall. You know, maybe get a nice chain for your suck and kill the Vex over here. The thing is, Fiddlesticks is so damn good that if you main this champion and you're not automatically climbing, you're either making the wrong decisions for the champion, you suck at the champion, or you're amazing at the champion, but your jungling is just god-awful because the champion is a PvP thing, is so strong. So, what he does is he just runs straight to the top lane again. All right. Now, that's idiotic because while the Talon will have camps respawning here that he can counter jungle, I don't think he was thinking about that. Also, there's no camps up here, which means he's most likely to be running on down. Like, there you go, you see it. He's going to check if there's camps. This was a blind shot in hell for camps. This now respawned at level 5 because the Talon went boom all the way up, right? It's a blind shot of counter jungling that's being rewarded just because of the Talon's own mistakes, let's just say, or like cheese invades. So now they're just trading these camps anyway. He wants level 6 so he can actually go ahead and dive this thing. He's getting away with the scene now. He's not even doing this because he doesn't know what the Talon is. He's not even thinking about the Talon. If the Talon was sequencing upside, he'd already be back up here. And now he has to wait for his Raptors and then his Crocs to spawn on this. He has completely put himself in the most debilitating position I can possibly imagine. And now remember, with the new patch, all of the minions are going to be going faster in the side lanes up until 14 minutes. So, you know, your roams and things like this will still happen. There's also the shift on the minion aggro, so once they're hitting the turret, they won't stop hitting the turret. So just keep that in mind. Your dives have to be inherently easy like this. Like if you got a dive like this, nothing's going to change, right? Just understand that. Also, remember that they're changing the way damage works on the turret. I really advise going to read the hatch notes, okay? Like here, example, you know, the minions are hitting the turret. They're not going to swap. They're busy going and doing their things. And the amount of damage you apply to the turret will actually now scale with your AD and AP. Whereas before it would scale with, you know, which was higher, your AD or 60% of your total AP. Follow? So read the patch notes, really get to understanding how that will shift your dives, but the free dives like this are not going to change. They're still going to be there. It's going to be easy. That's not a free. Good. Yeah. Don't do that. I like the principle though, you know, right? The guy goes top lane for no particular reason whatsoever. Eats it to Brazil. We go ahead and counter jungle this. We dive this. We hang around. We do it again. That's good cheese strategy. What I would do though is try and get the wolf camp, maybe get 6 and then go here if possible. If possible. Not in this situation. If possible. Or you can cheese here as well by yourself. Like the Evelyn, right? Like if the Evelyn can get this kill, go up here and get 6, then she can do this again. If your bottom lane really needs to reset, then obviously don't. Use your brain. That's all I can tell you. And while we were looking at the Talon doing his stuff, the Fiddlesticks goes to the top lane, hits his silence, hits his spear, hits his sucky. Mordekaiser uses his passive. And again, on the topic of dives, you know. Well, the flash was a little bit unnecessary, but, you know, theatrics. So, really, making it more difficult and changing it a little bit is fine, but it's not going to stop stupid. So, keep that in mind. The Fiddlesticks gets a freebie here. Now the Talon goes back in. Obviously, this is at this particular stage where we get the Lux. He goes in here and dies, of course, to the Jinx. He will respawn. And because of that death now, with the Fiddlesticks showing up again here, we know that the guy's going to get 6 from doing this from this quadrant. We know he's going to loop back to this. We know the Mordekaiser now kills the Renekton, sends him straight back to Brazil. The Talon's interesting pathing, well, not interesting pathing, but pathing will be interesting from the Fiddlesticks' perspective. Does he recognize that I was counter jungled? Because if Fiddlesticks shows top lane, level 4, just say 40 CS, and then he shows top lane again here, 44 CS, well, I know he took one of my camps. And I know my camp spawned Wolves Grom, so most likely he took the Wolves, and he didn't take the Grom because he only got 4 CS. Now the dude's gonna take minions, kill the Mordekaiser, you know, come back round with another 8 into vision. We know he took his red side quadrant. So keep those tab buttons active. The numbers there weren't accurate. It was just, you know, look for the +4, look for the +8. Because if you see someone dip in here and dip out here with +8, I know that quadrant was taken. So you can already put that into your timers. Okay, in 2 minutes 15, those camps are gonna be up again. And as a Platinum jungler, I really advise kind of getting that in your brain. From the Talon's perspective, if we registered that, we know that there's only one Grump on the top side, and I have 3 camps on the bottom side. I have a Dragon on the bottom side. I can get level 6 from the Krugs. I can flash in here and get the kill onto the Jinx, hopefully to get revenge on her destruction of my soul, and we'll get that proc, and now it's just, oh my god. Well, you know, it ain't Costanza, I'll tell you that much. This is my point. You can make good decisions, but if you mechanically mess it up, and you don't play it fluidly, or you build the wrong items, or you just do something weird with your hands, it doesn't matter how good the decision was. Whereas a bad decision can be undone by good mechanics. Right? So you gotta fuse that idea together a little bit. And now again, we're 1-4-3 now. Largely due to ourselves. The Fiddlesticks at this particular stage has got his 6 and he's going down to the bottom side. I don't know why he didn't go for that Herald. I'm gonna be honest with you. This is good though. Victor's rotating. Did I say good? I mean, oh, I told you, every single time on this channel, Jinx ult hits smack in the face. On the gameplay channel with only high elo content, they miss every single time. I think they straight up overthink it. Like the Jinx is like, oh, she's going back to base under turret, boom. And high elo, it's like, this person must be using 4-dimensional chess and weird sort of tensor mathematics to make sure that they avoid my Jinx ult. I'm gonna shoot it and curve it and bend it. Just shoot it in the same spot, man. They're not next level geniuses. So I really think they're overthinking a little bit, but hey. Talon will, of course, take this from that. So the Fiddlesticks had the opportunity here, once he killed this, watching the Talon die, to go ahead and loop back and take this. The reason why he should do that is because now, as we watch impending doom on the Croc, at this level of play, you really start to understand, as the Fiddlesticks, okay, Talon should have seen that I took his Wolf camp, so the Talon should know that he only has Grom camp, so the Talon should stay down here because he's got 3 camps, 6 plus Dragon. Right? So that means I should have a free Herald. Oh no, Talon, shut up. Fine, I have prior, we kill, we take them. It happens, right? The randomness will happen. How you adjust to it, PvP-wise is important, but also decision-making-wise. He doesn't take it. Ult's bottom lane. He's able to get a dragon, cool, but the Talon gets a free herald for it. And now, of course, we know that the Talon killed the herald because of the global timer. He will chuck out his W to get the slow, and then he'll just have to Q ult. This is not a good Talon. I mean, he makes Talon, but we activate this now. Guarantee ourselves some plates. The Fiddlesticks, on the other hand, is stealing this because we see him topside. So the Fiddlesticks, despite the guesswork here on the counter jungling, has done a solid job, right? I don't like the fact that we went straight out of base here. I mean, again, does it really matter? No, because we had nothing else to do. It was like, I might as well do something. Everything I do is dumb, so I might as well just pick the least dumb thing, which ended up working out for him, but we don't know results based it, but obviously we can avoid it with proper pathing. We have 8 on the ult. You know, this is why I don't like this play, because I kinda, well, I mean, I like it, but I feel like we could take the Krugs too and then just straight up ult them, but if your bottom lane's working with you, it's also fine, like it's fine. It's good, right? That's just literal coin flip decision. Both are good. Both are gonna have the same value in the coin. The Talon now stealing the Krugs. The Renekton shows up again. This for me is what we call the not such smart decision. Why is this not such a smart decision? We took this, we punched this, we see Fiddle, automatically we think, counter jungling, I can do it, yes. But your Mordekaiser ain't got no TP, he's over here. Your Vex is here in base. And the Renekton's going to be coming out of base, catching this wave here, and the Victor's going to be going down here. So basically, in order for you to do this, you've got to drag the camp and assume that no one's going to show up. So what's the better play? The better play is to shove the cannon wave here and bounce, right? Don't take the Krugs, just take the cannon wave, because the Renekton's going to be here very, very shortly. If he just stayed and quickly rinsed this as fast as possible, you'd have a bit more shove here to observe, but they all know we're going to be doing the Krug camp, right? So it's better in our case just to push the wave a bit more and bounce. If you want the cash money yourself, right? Obviously, that's what we're thinking about here. The problem with it being right in this location is that the Renekton is obviously showing a propensity to ward this bush. We don't inherently know that is Talon, but it doesn't really matter. I think if we look at it like this, does this look like a good place to be? Don't extend beyond the vision line begins with this minion right here and extends down. We have no vision in this lateral area, right? So why would you go too deep if lane prio isn't your friend? I understand the greed, but you could have just hit the wave, pulled back, gone to the Raptors a little bit, then come back here and joined up with the Mord and 2v1 the Renekton, right? So the right play, the wrong time. Whereas if we just kind of push the wave, we can maybe do this because it's pushed a little bit, but ideally I think we should just go ahead and do this. Then we wait for the Mordekaiser to join up, then we can rotate over here, we get the kill, we can do the Krugs afterwards, we can do it before because Mord has pressure. What if? A whole different universe of options and possibilities. But I think at the most, mostly you have Smite. So if you're going to greed for that, smite it and get out. And smite it and get out and then hit this plant, right? Don't go this way where Victor can collapse in. You go here, take this, go back to base, finish your mythic, go down here, kill the bottom lane, move into this, shove this, kill the Fiddle when he goes here, keep the pressure up. And most Talons who are not high elo, because the champion is terrible in the jungle at the moment, are just not so good at making those kind of jungle assassin flow decision making things. Like Rengars are always very good at it, but it do be that way sometimes. Fiddlesticks, yeah, we just saw this, he did the classic. That's why this champion is so strong. Hello, over the wall, my friends. Surprise party Fiddle. Can't believe, after all the time of Fiddlesticks waiting for a skin, it was Star Guardian. I'm so sorry, guys. Honestly. Like, people who like monster champions, I like monster champions, I don't want Star Guardian. I want something epic. That's also monster, like you can have different themes that are still epic, right? Like a Dark Star Fiddlesticks, Dark Star Ornn. Yeah. I'm still reminiscing over that disgusting Ornn skin. I did not buy it. Promise I wouldn't buy it because I thought it was trash, even though he's a hardcore original main. I've been making Ornn jungle content for 7 years. Well, has he been out 7 years? 6 years. 6 years in August. You know, I did not buy it. Elderwood's too good, too many good chromas. Thunderlord is amazing, right? Thorn skin, Thor Ornn. That released, that pool noodle skin just disgusting in my mind. So now basically what we're doing, if we stop talking about skins for a second, is Fiddlesticks moves back here. The Talon does what I said we could do, which is of course now move into the jungle to try to get some kills. But this only works if you are inherently strong and you can actually 1v1. Zhonya's, and now bottom lane are going to rotate. Vex is going to rotate here. The Fiddlesticks is flashing over the wall. He's going to have silence up again. The Vex is going to go in. We get the kill here. The Jinx and the Lux over the wall. Our bottom lane are not concerned about rotating to this out whatsoever. The Vex is in a precarious situation. The Lux and the Jinx are going to stick it out. The Talon is keeping an auto attack range for some reason. Really wants the assist. And the kill. The greed. The greed. Just take the... Guys, I know we like to flame ADCs. I really know we like to flame ADCs, but in this particular case, your bottom lane are pretty damn strong. So what's a better way to make this play happen? Hey guys, I've noticed you're not pushing the wave yet. Why don't I do some camps or gank mid lane and shove mid lane up for pressure, move into the jungle here and join you on this tower dive, or maybe put you in a position where you can collapse with us and we can 4v2 them easily. If you go ahead and make this play before they can even rotate because they're not in a position to, it's on you. It's not on them to rotate to this. Let them shove, do stuff in the meantime, move parallel to them, and join together. Moving parallel to your teammates is very important. Even if they're not necessarily doing what you want or expect, it's the best way to kind of guarantee that a play can be made. So, we have an equal game. The Talon has decided to path up in this direction, even though this will be spawning. Fiddlesticks is coming. Fiddlesticks is coming, guys. You're walking up Fiddlesticks. Fiddlesticks. Yep. It was so obvious. So obvious. So what do you do as a jungler in those situations? You ping it out. You say fiddle, 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 fiddle. You ping it out many times. And you say, no, you cannot. What is he, level 9? Is he going to just triple kill this? Does he think he can do this? Excuse me. You can't do anything about this. Vex is bottom lane. Everyone's dead. You know, instead of wasting time joking the Gherkin, why don't we just go steal all his camps or something? Like, why don't we, well, if he's there, obviously, why don't we push this wave and fall back? Why don't we just do blue side, push this wave a little bit and retract? Like, take as much as you can in this scenario as possible. Whether that's killing the fiddle, taking all of his stuff, pushing this wave, falling back to blue side, try and get back to this. You know, it doesn't matter. Just maximize whatever experience and gold you can get at this point, but don't die. Don't sit in the bush, dream, and then randomly go places and die. Worst case scenario, if you really don't want to make this play, like the fiddle's farming here 3 levels up because of whatever's happened, like some shit happened to you, just do your blue side at the very least. Blue side, shove this up a little bit, go back to base, now we can contest, take, fight again. See what happens, right? The worst thing you can do is absolutely sit, do random, and now they can collapse on you. Because while they're busy doing the turrets, it gives you the momentum to kind of take stuff while they're busy. Once they're done, they're going to retract and collapse on you. So you want to do things that cannot be punished because no one's there to punish you, and then fall back to this as they want to leave, right? And as they want to leave here, if you can cut them off and your team respawns, that's when you get numbers advantage fights for Barons and for Dragons. Not necessarily going to happen in this game, but just general principle. Just general principle. That's why all of the mid-game stuff on that main channel video I made on the mid-game last week, it's great for winning and losing. It doesn't really matter. Now on the main channel, we have the team fighting guide, and we have the mid-game guide, basically just a few lectures from the courses put together, plus a few other things I put in there, just to kind of be a reference point for people who are like, how do I carry the mid-game no matter what? How do I win team fights no matter what? Those 2 videos. So whenever I'm in this kind of mood, like we have shorter games here, we're not really looking at the mid and the late game strategy, you know, in terms of like, how do you win every game? Those videos will do you super good. But obviously here, the game gets a really big swing from that Fiddlesticks ult over the wall, which is why he's so strong. Kai'Sa again pushes up. The talent's just not involved, right? He's just not exerting pressure enough where anyone can do anything about it. Like, if your jungler's applying pressure, if the jungler's applying pressure, say here, and assassinating their carries, the Fiddlesticks and the Victor can't just go mid lane and 2v1 yours and shove. They have to respect that you're just picking up their ADC, you're picking up their support, you're pushing the side waves, you're going to force them to rotate over to you because you're fed, because you're taking stuff. And that allows your team the opportunity to shove, get more bounties, push turrets, and so on. If we don't have that pressure and we're just kind of wallowing and waiting, the Fiddlesticks can do whatever the hell he wants, which is what he's doing, and obviously why the champion is so good, because it's obnoxious, but at the same time, predictable, right? Like, we kind of, Fiddlesticks is going to be over the wall, Fiddlesticks is going to be over the wall. That's an effigy. I hate that. I hate that change so much. Like, I know he's dead. I know he's dead, but I'm just instinctively looking on the minimap and clicking, right? Of course he died here. I'm just instinctively clicking on the effigy like it's his thing, instead of a ward. Tick damage, he died there. Obviously, the Mordekaiser's here. What are we exactly doing at this point from the red team's perspective? Like, 2 are dead, right? 2 are dead from the blue team as well. the red team are shoving waves to create pressure, the mortar's collapsing. Like, if you have numbers advantage, it's great if you can win the 3v3 here, but what could we be doing instead? Take this. Like, you could have been taking this a whole time. It could be gone. Or you can just be pushing this up and taking this, forcing rotations. You want to force the enemy team to feel like they need to go somewhere, even if it's inappropriate. If you don't, and you telegraph every move you're going to do, they're going to collapse, they're going to respawn, and you're going to die, right? Because he took too long to make this decision. This goes for the Mort as well. Even if he gets kills here, it doesn't matter. As I said, bad decision can be freed by, you know, you don't want to say good mechanics with a Mordekaiser, do you? What does Mordekaiser have if not mechanics? Well then, the new Ghost Blade is going to be great on a Talon for sure. Yeah, very nice. This wave is just pushing in here. This is such a platinum thing. Like, this could have been pushed up for vision control, so we can see where people are cutting in when they respawn. No one's thinking about it. We're just hovering and baiting, and Fiddlesticks is going to have ult again very, very shortly. So now we know that Fiddlesticks is going to ult. Can we get it and get out? Fiddlesticks is priming himself over the wall. There we go. Double fear, double silence. Giga suck. Actually, triple fear in the end. You include everything. Just absolute disrespect for the map. Disrespect for what other options other than just kind of floating. Yeah, let's float mid lane, guys. 3v3. Just leave them. They want to push this and force a rotation. Split them up. All these effigies. Which one's the real Fiddlesticks? Find out next week. Hey. You can see this is why people in Platinum get leads. Say, hey, I can't close. Or hey, I'm behind. How do I win? Don't do what this Talon's doing. If you want to win the game, based upon what the Fiddle's doing, it's actually fine. Because they're not going to be pushing the map, they're not going to be trying to do anything proactive. You can just find a bush to sit in, take a giant dump, and then kill them. Ooh. A 1v1. Let's have a look. Vex moved down here to ward. We saw that from the Fiddlesticks' perspective, so we know it's warded. We have this new plant that is available. We could go ahead and stack it to get out, which of course we're going to do. There we go. Now we have Renekton and rotating. We of course have the Herald usage, which at least we got. We can activate it. See, this is good. This is good, right? You've got here possible 2v2. But they activate this Herald 3v0 bottom lane. The Victor's forced to rotate and deal with this. In the meantime, the Jinx and the Lux are doing this. So as Talon, am I fed enough just to go and kill these two? Hopefully you should be. That's the goal, right? I'm fed enough to handle this. I got this, guys. Push on. And so your team can do this. Force rotations. Your Vex should come with you, or she could just push this as well. So that they can shove. Once everyone rotates, they can cut. You can take this as well. You're following me, right? So it's always looking for that cut move and pressure release all the time. So let's see what actually happens. Obviously, the Fiddlesticks and Renekton, once they leave this, right? Once they leave this, look at this darkness. If I'm in game, my mind's already like, uh-oh, run. And of course, when you know they're coming from this side, you know they're going to collapse, so just leave. Down, run as hard as possible. Maybe we can collapse on them here. Vex is staying here. Now she probably should not. This would have been a good time to go back to base and collapse with the Talon. 2v2, guarantee it, because the Talon isn't that fed. However, I think that all of these people will die. Oh, they didn't go down. They didn't go down. They went straight. We saw them here. We knew they were rotating over. There's no reason to go straight down. You know you're being collapsed upon. Just cut down and collapse down this direction. Talon and Vex finally make this move on the bottom lane, but it doesn't really matter purely because they've already gotten the inhib. So they're able to get the kills, which is great, right? Like, it's great. We get the kills here, but they should have done it sooner so they don't get the inhib. Although now you can get fed on the inhib, but it does give them pressure for this. And, of course, the spawning of the dragon, which will be the third. Huge compromise there because of a lack of snappy decision-making, but also just a lack of a general awareness. Like, hey, 2 bot, let's go. Activate the Herald. Ah, shit, they're coming for us, guys. What can Talon do? Shadow and make the fight. If you're really fed, you can either just give up the inhib, right? Give up the inhib, or tell Vex to go hold as best as possible, and then you join the rest of your team and you just ace the rest of them, and now you guys get the free Baron. Go back to base. You can use the Baron to shove this strategically, right? But, again, I don't think people are thinking about that. Well, you know, might as well die or use... Oh, we don't die. Wait. We don't die. Okay, good. Well, that should be a dragon for them. I don't think we can do anything about it. Jinx ult was cinematic. All of these little mistakes compound. In Platinum, the little mistakes start to compound quite seriously. And no, the Fiddlesticks isn't doing anything super special, but he is just abusing people's general... what am I doing? Again, you know, he's just abusing people's general lack of positioning and vision. Which is what you're meant to do, right? I mean, why go back to base and do a Baron when you can just stand in the jungle here and coin flip a fight. Like, I know they won it and got the 2 picks, but again, this seems a little unnecessary from both teams' perspective. So this is it. It ends not with a bang, but a whimper. Yeah, that's it. If you're blue team, you cannot afford to go in 1 by 1 and die in this situation because they've got in-hit pressure. You have to essentially just give up the Baron possibility here or shove this up as hard as possible while they reset. The Fiddlesticks definitely agreed, but the fact that everyone rotates over and then they just go in 1 by 1, yeah, that was probably the one of the most platinum endings to a game you can expect, which is why they ended 23 minutes in this ELO, not because of high precision efficiency at pushing the map and ending the game, but because there's just a lot of lack of action, you know? Tempo tennis, but in the mid-game. Hit the Nexus! Hit the Nexus! Just don't play like this. See you all on the next video.